Democrats and the media never took Trump seriously in 2016. Remember when the Huffington Post moved their Trump coverage to the entertainment section? But then he defeated crooked Hillary, and the rest, history. Now, former Senate Majority Leader Reid is warning his fellow Democrats again, never underestimate Donald Trump.
I don't think he's intellectually a powerhouse, but he is basically a very, very smart man. He, no matter what the subject, any argument he involves himself in, it's on his terms. Anyone that thinks Trump's going to be beaten easily should have another think coming.
Meanwhile, comedian Bill Maher is sounding the alarm on Biden's ability to defeat Trump.
I've always said I like Joe. He's never my favorite. But if he's the guy to beat Trump, I was like, let's not kill him, because if he's the one. But I must say, my confidence that he can beat Trump is waning. He looks like a depreciating stock to me. I'm not trying to get Joe out, but we do need someone in the center who's, say, younger and femaler.
Femaler. All right, Geraldo, very unhealthy for Democrats to underestimate Donald Trump. I think the media is responsible because they portray him as always, hanging by his fingertips off the edge of a cliff, when in reality, it's not like that.
I spent Thursday night and Friday night sitting in a chair with makeup on and a tie on, waiting for Hannity to come to me when the president was having a rally first in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and then in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And watching it, I could see this was a great TV show, and that crowd was so robust. They were so enthusiastic. I'm telling you, no Democrat could match that enthusiasm. Even with Beyonce, they couldn't get that kind of a crowd and keep that crowd for as long as he did. He had them spellbound. He's a master performer, and I think that watching him and then weighing him against the candidates on the Democratic side, there's plenty of issues against the president. Don't get me wrong. But in terms of sheer exuberance and power of his personality, he's going to be extremely formidable.
And all these reporters, they're there embedded at these campaign rallies. They see the energy. They see the electricity. Are they denying it, or what is the deal, you think?
Let me tell you, watching these rallies, and I've been in a few of them.
I heard. I heard your name.
You heard about that?
I was so glad you didn't mention
there's Janine. Anyway, watching the Dems, the Dems are petrified because the enthusiasm that the president garners is unparalleled. No one can do what he does. And so they can talk until the cows come home. Nothing's going to change. And that's why they have to impeach him to beat him. They knew it from the get-go. But the shame of it is that the American public is saying, look, if you want to impeach him, okay, but make it fair. And so everything is going to boomerang. It's a boomerang.
You think it's going to be 2016 all over again, potentially?
Well, I think that he'll survive impeachment if they decide to do it, and then he's really a lot stronger. And Reid is a very savvy politician. He has been actually pushing for Elizabeth Warren, or he's been bullish. He's been bullish on Elizabeth Warren for a long time. He knows that's a swing state. That's a really important one that the president would like to try to get. Or did they get it?
You talk about Nevada or
Nevada, excuse me. I was thinking of New Mexico nearby. But I was really interested in the Bill Maher piece. There's just no enthusiasm. Everybody's trying to gently say, even like all the former Obama people, there's no real enthusiasm for him. And yet, as I said on Friday, he actually holds up pretty well in the polls.
Yes, he's hung on in a pretty weak field to that #1 position, Greg.
Well, the Dems are used to pushing Granny off a cliff. So this is they're slowly trying to get Biden out there. People often
ask... What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Remember the old commercial?
Remember the campaign ad of Paul Ryan and Medicare?
With the health care.
It was it was a stupid tangent on my part. People often ask me, though, Jesse, how did I get so successful? And as being a world-class celebrity. And I say, it wasn't by underestimating anything. I overestimate everything. If I have a 9 p.m. flight, I show up at 8 p.m. the day before. Right? I underestimate all the problems. I'm a neurotic.
No, you overestimate all the problems.
No, I overestimate. Okay, my point is this. My point is that you can despise Trump and hate how he talks, of course, but you can't deny the electricity of those rallies. The problems with the Dems, instead of learning from that relationship, they decide to just say, oh, well, they're all deplorable, too. I hate Trump. I hate these people, rather than saying, what is going on here that we don't have? It's a huge mistake to just say all of these people suck. because that's how you
smell.
are.
I feel sorry for Joe Biden.
Smell.
I feel sorry for Joe. I mean, every parent, particularly with multiple children, has had problems with.
You feel
you
sorry
come and
for
go.
Joe?
I do feel sorry for him
Why?
because he did serve the country since he had
Oh,
terrible
baloney.
things.
He's
Terrible
taking his
things happen
son
in his
to
personal
China
life.
on Air Force
No,
Two.
I get
while his
that,
son's
but he
getting
lost
$1 million.
a daughter, he
You
lost
know
a
what?
son. There's a lot that.
Yeah, and you know
a lot
what?
that happened to him.
And he did real well when he got to the White House, and he made sure his family did, his son did,
that
his
line
brother
about
did.
kissing President Obama's tushy was extraordinary. It was horrifying to many, but I had to laugh. And
You've never heard anything like that,
guilty after I
right?
laughed.
Yeah,
Never
Good,
in your
Jesse.
day and age.